here. Like,
There
I
you go.
love them.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That's what you do. That's called being a man. But before we get into a few of these subjects, because I know I don't want to run too late. I know y'all have already been on here a while holding it down. I'm going to show y'all what I got today. I'm going to show y'all my tattoo.
Uh-oh.
So it's not
Is
in a sensitive area.
the problem? I was fixing to ask: is nudity allowed on the show?
Nudity is not allowed on the show, and it is not nudity. All right. Y'all want to see it?
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Okay.
Are those
I thought
lips?
They are.
Apparently they're lips, but at first glance, it kind of looked like a gator to me.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I was thinking too.
Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a gator
It is
until
not
you
a
get
gator, I
real
promise.
until you get really up close.
Yeah, it's just because it's a little
But
red
that's
on
what
the
I got
outside.
today.
It's got that little red on
Yeah.
the outside. You kind of see something. Once the camera focuses in, you can see. But when you first turn your head, it's like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, I
Kentucky, what
literally
the
came from the
hell?
tattoo parlor to here. Like, I got done and I drove here. My lips
Well,
do not look
hey,
like a
when
gator.
it comes to tattoos, much like haircuts, it takes just precise and precision.
So
All
you
right, honey,
came
you have
in
to
at
switch back to your account.
so you came in at an interesting time, Andrew. We had just
All right,
started
fill me
talking about uh, Shohei Ohtani. And what do you think is going on? Is he a victim, or is there some shenanigans and crop dusting going on here?
You and I had this conversation, and I stand behind what I said. I think he's a victim. I think, he thought, these people were trusted. He gave them access to things, and they screwed him over. Like, in my heart of hearts, I believe that he is innocent in this. Like, I do. I think he got taken, and I just, the guy, just knowing him for these years and the things, like, he's never given me that vibe that, that, like, if it came out that Bryce Harper was doing it, I'd be like, yeah, that motherfucker, I believe that shit. But like, Ohtani, probably not. All right, so here's her lips do not look like a gator. Yes, this is my wife's lips, by the way.
Okay.
So I really, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Yeah, I love the OJ
Yes.
Simpson trial. That was
Okay.
great. But no, I think he's a victim. I just do.
It's gonna be interesting to find out what comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it ends. But at this moment in time, until further evidence comes out, I'm gonna have his back, and I believe him.
Right.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, I definitely believe him too. I mean, even watching what was it, First Take this morning, there was somebody who was on the phone with his interpreter for like an hour and a half, and his interpreter was having to explain to Otani that he owed money to a bookie or a what is it, gambling shark or whatever, and he had to make wire transfers for $500,000 two separate times. Like, bro.
Right. Well, I mean, if the guy is the one, like I'm really not going to get into everything that I think is going to happen to him, even though James and I had discussed what I believe is going to happen to that guy. I don't think it's going to be pretty, especially if it turns out he's the one that, did some dirty stuff. But
Right.
I want to get your take on this, Chris. And you guys, if you don't know, you may not, but you might. So, best rivalry in baseball. I'm going with South Carolina Clemson. Huge bias here. They met each other in College World Series a couple times. South Carolina had to win back-to-back games against Clemson to go to the championship game and win. Like, it is a big rivalry in baseball. But that's mine. What about you, Chris?
That's definitely up there. I would.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think they play very often. How about Texas and Cal State Ford?
Man, some classics in the College World Series
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They don't play often, but man, they went at it. Like I
Yes.
can't deny that one. They absolutely went at it.
That one seems solid to me.
I agree.
Obviously, South Carolina, Clemson,
Yep.
Texas, and since they've both gotten elite level status, TCU and Texas A&M is another one that gets pretty juicy.
Yeah, it does. And I just like, hold on a second. No, Cody. No. All right. So, Matt, James, do y'all have a favorite? Y'all can do pro baseball rivalry if you want, because my favorite is the Braves and the Mets. Even though the Phillies are more relevant these days, but what do y'all think? Pro baseball. What's your favorite rivalry? Because I know y'all love some pro baseball.
I'm gonna stay traditional for right now and probably say the Yankees Red Sox. I mean, no rivalry runs deeper than those two teams right there. I mean, you could obviously argue the Giants and Dodgers going back to the New York days and everything, but let's be honest, were any of us really alive to see that at the time? I say Yankees Red Sox mostly because of what we've seen growing up, and just it's one bad pitch with either team and it's benches clearing.
Every
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm gonna go to the Midwest and probably say the Crosstown Classic, the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox.
Okay,
that's a good one. Subway Series is another good one.
Okay, so I got two for you, right? So Arkansas and Tennessee. Okay.
Yes, George would definitely agree with that one.
Yeah, was it Dave Van Horn, right? And fucking as far as MLB, Orioles and Tampa Bay. Like, don't get me wrong, Yankees are our biggest rival this year, but the one we mark on the calendar every year are those Tampa Bay Ray games. We fucking hate them. They hate us. I've gone to Tampa Bay. I've gone to the Ray Stadium, and there is just as much hate for me there as we give them when they come here. We fucking hate them. It's like the Wizards versus Miami. We fucking hate Miami. Like that is the biggest rivalry that we have. Now, as a Wizards fan, I can say yes, we're no competition at all. Okay, but again,
not right now.
Teams that we want to win, like we have to win this game, it's almost always against the Heat.
Okay.
So, but
very nice, Chris. Before we move on, what's your favorite pro rivalry?
My favorite pro rivalry?
Yes.
I
think the best is Yankees Red Sox. I think we all agree on that. That's why I want to know your favorite.
So, see, I grew up in the Midwest, and for me, the Royals and Yankees was bigger than the Red Sox.
Really?
Brett Saberhagen and all them, George Brett, yeah.
Bo Jackson.
Yep.
If you remember, George Brett hit a home run against the Yankees in the playoffs. And the Yankees cried, and it became the Pine Tar game. They took the home run off. They took the home run off the board. And,
that game where he came out of the dugout, screaming like
a wild man.
Yes.
Well, he should have laid hands on it. Umpires and referees are the dirtiest people in sports, and it's not even close. I have no love for them.
Well, for baseball, it's Angel Hernandez.
He's just terrible. I don't think he's corrupt. I think he's just stupid.
Exactly. Like, it should be whatever teams have him umping the game, whether he's on first, second, third, outfield, or behind home plate. If he makes a terrible call, it should be hands on sight. No matter his age. Like, that man is just terrible.
Oh my God, who's the ref in the SEC basketball? Pat somebody.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah.
Pat somebody. Oh my God.
Guy.
Yeah, he's
he
terrible.
Is awful. He is the Angel Hernandez of college basketball. Yeah.
So for Tennessee is 1-20 when this guy refs their games.
Oh, you're kidding?
True story.
So So it's interesting you're talking about favorite rivalries. I'm gonna make Andrew hate me
That's
because
hard, but okay.
because there's a new rivalry in the NHL. The defending champions had been talking some smack about playing a certain hockey team a few years ago, and they came down to Nashville, and David Legwand and company sent their old asses packing because they couldn't skate fast enough. I like the Preds versus the Blackhawks, and guess what? Let me remind everybody. I said last week that they're the best young team in the NHL. I got some looks like I was crazy. This number has changed. It's now 15 straight games with a point. They are the hottest team in the NHL.
Well, I didn't
and
disagree with
and the youngest.
Well, I'll
Here's
tell
the
you what, they're one up over the Florida Panthers.
right now.
Come on,
But
Florida.
let me tell you, when I think rivalry for my Blackhawks, I just think of my hatred for the Red Wings. Like
The Red Wings. Yes. That's another one.
Classic of classic rivalries for hockey.
But yeah, baby, I don't care if we're the worst team in hockey. Like I am going to represent every day. But
I don't know a single player's name on Preds hockey. They've turned over so much in the last 2 years. I don't even know who any of the players are anymore, other than UC Soros.
Right. So, and I know that the flagship show is going to come on soon, so I don't want to run too late into that. So I want to cover a couple of things before we go. All right. As it stands right now, who's everybody's pick to win it all? I got Arizona. I've already put that on Facebook, on College Sports Villains X. Everybody knows. But who do you have? We'll start with James.
So I went with a very ballsy pick, and I went with FAU, Florida Atlantic, the Owls. I'm mostly going off of
That's ballsy.
Yeah, I'm mostly going off of the run that they had to the Final Four last year. I think they're on that redemption/revenge tour. You know, they lost a few key games this year, including the game against Temple in their conference tournament. But looking back, I saw it as, well, you know what? It's better to get the loss out of the way now. So this way you're more prepared going into the tournament. I'll say this, though. When they win against Northwestern and they face UConn, that's going to be a hell of a matchup.
Yeah, I don't think they make it out of the second round personally, but stranger things have happened in March. That's why we call it madness. Mac, who you got?
I'm going to stick with UConn. Now, don't get me wrong. So I have.
That's not a bold pick at all.
I have one. I made one bracket, and I made just for shits and giggles, NC State as my bracket winner.
So
now
NC
my
State
actual
is a dangerous team, but Texas Tech is really good. I'm not sure they make it out of the first round.
So my bracket, I'm probably one of the few people where my bracket is still alive. Right?
Same.
I bet on Duquesne. I bet on Duquesne. I have an actual parlay that's still rolling right now. I'm like, please, Dayton, come. I just need Dayton.
Dayton won.
Dayton did win. Yeah.
Oh, then there you go. There you go.
Right now, Dayton and Nevada is probably the best game of the day.
Oh, absolutely. And second best would probably be Duquesne and BYU. That was a close game until like the final 10 seconds.
Well, I chose that man.
With Nevada and Dayton, Dayton comes back from 17 down with 7 minutes left in the game.
Yep.
Goes on a 24-4 run to close it out and win it. That's game right there.
Yeah, indeed it is.
So, Chris, who do you got winning it all?
Okay. I'll start with my Final Four. How's that?
Okay.
My Final Four will be UConn, North Carolina, James Madison,
Boo.
and Creighton.
Ooh.
Now, two of those teams in that Final Four have played each other twice this year already. One of them won by 25 points. The other one won by 21 points. I have Creighton versus UConn in the national championship, with UConn winning it. And those two teams have played already. UConn beat Creighton by 25 in the first game. In the second game, Creighton beat them by 21. So, but James Madison, I got them. If you remember, they beat Purdue last year in the first round. I think 16 over 1. James Madison is 30-3, and they're really, really, really good.
I think you're thinking of Fairleigh Dickinson.
No, Fairleigh Dickinson beat Virginia a couple years ago.
No, I know for a fact that they beat Purdue.
Yeah, they beat Purdue.
Was that?
That was
Then who did James Madison beat last year as a low seed?
James Madison was an 11 seed last year, right?
No, they were a 15 or a 16, I believe.
We'll have to look that up. But you know what? Let's just James Madison, like what a program they put together out there. Football, basketball, baseball. I mean, like whoever the athletic director there is, man, they need to go ahead and throw the bag at that guy and keep him there because he's doing a hell of a job.
I think it was like 2 years ago at one point that they were ranked in Division I in the top 25.
Yeah. And in football or baseball?
Football was this year. But they were in there this year all year.
Football, they were 9-0 this year.
Yeah.
But they were ineligible for they were ineligible for any playoff stuff or bowl contention. However, they were able to get into a bowl because there weren't enough 6-win teams.
Because South Carolina, actually, so they should thank us. But anyway, that's how it goes sometimes. So before we end the show, because the flagship show is coming, I appreciate y'all coming on. Sorry I was late. I had no idea that this was gonna go that long at the tattoo parlor, but anyway, I had a good time. I really like my tattoo. So we all know South Carolina's schedule in football this year is one of the hardest again, like it is every year. So let's look at their 2025 football schedule, and I just want y'all to tell me why the SEC fucking hates us.
Oh boy.
Look at this. We're at LSU, at Missouri, at Ole Miss, and at Texas A&M. And at home for funsies, we have Alabama and Oklahoma. Like, look at this fucking SEC schedule they gave us. Like, this is insane. Like, there's 6 losses, man. I mean, and then Kentucky and Vanderbilt, you never fucking know. And then we got Clemson on top of that.
Come on.
We're not necessarily going to lose. We're 2 years out.
Andrew, do I need to remind you you've won 2,757 straight games against Vanderbilt in football? Come on now.
And we generally beat Missouri more than they beat us. We beat Kentucky more than they beat us. So, I mean, there's 3 probable wins here. And then we could win 3 out-of-conference games because we have Coastal Carolina that year and Clemson out-of-conference. That's easy. These are 2 teams that win 10 games. Anyway, it's a brutal schedule is where I'm going with this.
So here's my issue with the 2025 schedules. Why in the hell are we playing Auburn for the 3rd straight year and not playing Arkansas that we haven't played since 2019?
And it's really weird because South Carolina has natural rivalries with Georgia, especially like forever, like going back to 1800s, right? We don't play them this year or next year. Florida, we have a rivalry with because Steve Spurrier came here and we beat them a bunch. So now it became a rivalry. We don't play them. Tennessee, we don't play them. These are teams we played every year for 20 years, and we don't play them for 2 years in a row. Like it just doesn't make much sense, take Ole Miss off the schedule and give us Georgia. I don't care that they're better than us. That's a rivalry I like watching. You know what I mean? South Carolina, Georgia.
Hell, take Alabama off of our 25 schedule and give me Arkansas. I want to win at least one SEC game. I mean, they can't beat us. I mean, they can't beat us. They have.
I mean, this
they
is
have,
really rough. Like
they actually have more last place finishes in the SEC since 2010 than Vanderbilt's got. So when I say I want to win at least one game, give me Arkansas, damn it.
I think for the SEC opponents for South Carolina, I kind of seeing it being essentially being split down the middle. Maybe one more loss.
you're more than welcome to join us, Troy. We don't know what South Carolina's team's going to look like 2 years from now, Alabama and all that. So this is just speculation. But I mean, the point is, like, that's a brutal schedule.
Yeah. No, it's a brutal schedule, but I mean, come on. Like Missouri, they had like what, one good year last year?
Alabama.
And they're not essentially really known for football. Vanderbilt, apologies, Chris, but that's an easy win. Like that, like Vanderbilt is essentially when it comes to football.
Yeah, that's
when
what
it
I
comes
was
to
saying.
football, they're the little brother that you just slap around. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, they've won 2,757 straight games against Vanderbilt football. What's he worried about?
Ole Miss, that's that. I could kind of see that being a nail biter. And then South Carolina just getting that tough win against them. Texas A&M.
It just worries me on the road. How is Lane Kiffin? Like Lane Kiffin has a playoff team this year, and if he continues the trend of recruiting, man, he's going to be a dangerous team like for years to come. If he stays there, which I think he did. I think he's found something there. Edit it all, man. But we love it.
Over.
But how's Kentucky doing before we sign off?
Let me pull it up real quick. Take me about 2 seconds. There's my ESPN page.
They were up 38-35 the last I saw. I think it's halftime right
click
now.
On scores.
Yes, Troy, I'm on vacation.
No.
Oakland
Kentucky is down. Kentucky's going down.
Kentucky trails 38-35 at halftime.
Yeah, well, got the score right. Just didn't get the teams.
Unfortunately for them, there is a second half.
Dear God. No, this can't be happening. I picked 3 5 seeds to go down in the first round. One of my 5 seeds is getting absolutely boat raced right now. Gonzaga is up 23 on McNeese State. Now,
so many people pick McNeese State to win too.
Yes, because they were like what 30-3. Are you kidding me? No.
Bet the underdog. Bet the underdog. Bet the underdog. And I'm like, bro, I'm not signing off on it. I'm not signing off
too
on
much
it.
experience for Gonzaga in this tournament.
There might be some good news in that, though.
I get it. It's the classic 5 versus 12 seed, and every now and again, the 12 seed would come out on top. I've seen it happen before. I've seen it in recent tournaments.
Every year.
Yeah, but with a team like McNeese State, no, you don't bet on them against a team like Gonzaga.
With Will Wade?
I sure didn't.
I did. Now, I will say this. There might be some good news for Vanderbilt in that Gonzaga-McNeese State game. We might have our coach a little bit earlier than planned.
From McNeese State?
Because as it stands right now, Will Wade currently has a 4-year, $14 million offer on the table.
Nice.
I'll take him.
Oh, yeah. I'd take him, too. All right. So we're going to do final thoughts, and we're going to roll out so the flagship show can have their moment. Thank y'all for being here. We'll start with you, Matt. Final thoughts.
I can't wait for opening day.
Me too.
That's all.
All right. James, final thoughts.
I mean, much like Max said, I can't wait for opening day either. Right now, Texas is up on Colorado State 43-34. Other than that, this coming Sunday, you can catch myself, Mac, and Andrew on my show, No Mercy Sports, 10 Mountain Standard Time, noon Eastern Time. It is the most uncut, unfiltered, and uncensored sports talk show you will find on YouTube, with everybody saying No Mercy Sports. Yeah.
Yep, I'll be there. Chris, final thoughts. And once again, thank you for jumping on and hosting my show as my tattoo time ran late. I really appreciate that.
So I got a couple final thoughts here. Number one, the Vanderbilt women, by God, NCAA tried to say we didn't belong and we had to play our way in, and we won. It's our first NCAA tournament win since 2013.
Nice.
It's our first appearance in the dance since 2014.
Wow.
We got us a winner as a coach. We're coming for you, South Carolina. We're coming for you.
You're going to have to go through Iowa first. Iowa taking it.
Second thought.
When Caitlin Clark leaves, Iowa's going to be trash. But go ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
Second thought. My Vandy boys have won 14 straight games. We are currently ranked number 3 in the country. And we are on a yes, sir. And we are on a road trip this weekend. Andrew, we're kicking your ass. We're sweeping you in Carolina.
Well, you're not going to sweep us, but I do think you win 2 out of 3. Our coach just isn't the guy.
Fighting words.
That's just fair.
Words.
I mean,
look,
I guess it's bad. So,
I have bet on both of your baseball teams this year and won bets. So thank you.
Nice. Yes.
I mean, hey, listen. I screenshotted that chart that you made of the top 20 baseball teams in college. And so I revert back to that when I bet on college baseball. And it has served me well. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But yeah, South Carolina does have a great baseball program. They're very good. My pause for concern is if opening weekend is any kind of tell, all 7 home teams in the SEC won last weekend. So if opening weekend is any tell, winning on the road is going to be very difficult.
Oh yeah, it always is. It's hard to win on the road in any sport. But with that being said, thank you guys. I'm gonna sign off here so the flagship show can have their moment. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate it. I want to thank everyone for coming to the show. Sorry I was late. I ran late at the tattoo parlor, but we're here. I have some great people like Chris and George who jumped on and started the show and got everything going. And I can't thank Chris and George enough. Mac and James, I can't thank y'all enough for what you did. I really appreciate it. It was a fun show. Until next week, John 3:16.
College football dogs. By the fans, for the fans. You win,